To do just what he said he would do, and he's gonna fulfill every promise to you, but you can't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. Why? Because he's able. Do I have a witness in here? Anybody know that the God that we serve, he's able? Yes, he is. I tried it and I know just what he said, and he's gonna fulfill every promise. But you can't give up on God, 'cause he won't. Come on, somebody shout it out. Do I have any believers See, somebody need God to do a work for you. I know I need him to do something for me. That's why I'm standing right here. I may look crazy.
Good afternoon, Midday family. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday to everyone that's on YouTube, that's connected on live. Good afternoon to all of those that are on the replay. What's up, Tony B? That is my girl right there. Listen, I just want to ask you to like, tag, and share, hit at highlights. Let them know that we are on. It is Wednesday. You know, we got a new time. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday here at the Midday with Marcella. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you for your support. Listen, those that are listening, I just wanted to have a quick conversation. We're gonna have a quick brunch, and it's just going to be food for thought. Food for thought. That means that it's food, it's substance, it's the conversation that's going to make you think. Years ago, they used to be like, put on your thinking cap. Put on your thinking cap, right? And what's up, Shanika? I love you. Can't wait to see you tonight. Here it is. Here's the food for thought. Here's the food for thought. Let me get my glasses because I can see better when I got some assistance, right? You got to get what works, right? Here it is. Here we go. Here we go, Shanika, right? Thank you. What about there's some things that God has put in our heart and in our hand. There's some passion, some blessings, some creative energy and vibes that we have, right? And I want to know who's really getting blessed by your call, by your mission, right? Who's locked in and who's eating by what God has given you? How many people are blessed, right? By what God has given you. Shandi, can we put up our purple flyer? And I'm going to make it clearer as we talk. Can you put up the purple flyer, Shandi? Here it is. October 26th at 10 a.m. I'll be hosting, it's our Sunday morning service, but we're going to be talking about domestic violence awareness, right? So, Shanika, I was in domestic violence from 14 to 26, right? Many years ago. Next month, Tony B, I'll be 55. But I was in that space. I lived that life, right? Being in domestic violence, I was a part of that whole demonic atmosphere. That's what I like to call it, the whole demonic. That's something God brought me out of, right? There are many things that God might have delivered you from or delivered you to. And today I wanted to talk about who's really getting blessed. What's up, Tina? By your experience, by your testimony, by your passion. So on the 2016, we're going to be having an entire service. Purple, the royalty. We're going to be talking about freedom. We're going to be talking about being free, liberated, healed, healthy, wholeness. We're going to talk about breaking demonic curses, bad behaviors, all of this domestic violence on Sunday, the 26th of October. There are many of us that are listening, and there's so many things that you've gone through factually that nobody can't play in your face about it. They can't tell you. You know for yourself because you've experienced it. You know what it looks like. If it's drug addiction, if it's a food addiction, if it's depression, if it's anything, you know about it, right? But has there been anyone or are there anybody that's being blessed, being empowered, being awoke, right? Being helped because of what you went through? Here it is. God didn't bring you through so that you could just stay mediocre. You can leave it. I like the way you had that, Shani. Can we put it back? Because I went through for a good portion of my young adult life, being in domestic violence, being a part of it, being connected to it, knowing the language, the mental, the deliverance, all of that. And now it was really strong on me last year to talk about domestic violence. October is breast cancer awareness as well as domestic violence. Shanika, I wanted to to be a part of being the help. I wanted to be a part of being support. I wanted to be a part of being preventive. I wanted to be a part of awakening someone to know that if God did it for me, He could do it for you, and He'll do it for your kids. He'll do it for you, your kids, and their kids, right? And today, the conversation, the question is, um, how is someone being blessed, awoke, empowered because of your testimony, or are we keeping it to ourselves? It might not be, as transparent um, as I'm going to have to be, or that maybe my ministry is, or my walk is, but are you helping someone come out of where you used to be? Have you gotten blessed financially? And are people able to get blessed because of you being a blessing, or you getting blessed? Or are we doing it all for ourselves? And sometimes we don't realize that. Boy, that the Bible says that it's better to be to give than to receive. And it's not just monetary, it's just not money. What about giving of yourself, giving your testimony, giving of freedom, letting someone see, experience, and understand that the liberty that you've been allotted because you were in bondage? Are we sharing, or are we gatekeepers of information, gatekeeping of wisdom that God so freely gives us? Does that make sense? I just wanted to put it in your hearing, put it on your plate today, Shanika, that someone should be being blessed because of your purpose-driven life. A few somebodies. That's why it says that we should have much fruit and our fruit should remain. We should be able to be a big blessing. If you go shopping and you're a shopper and you get sales, you shouldn't be the only one shopping. Somebody should experience, favor that you walked into. Not everybody, but there should be a few somebodies, some remnant, some residue that God broke this out for me, like Peter, and then I should be going back and sharing that. Someone else should experience the goodness of God through your relationship with God. And oftentimes, Shanika, we don't do that. Sometimes we just gatekeep it up, like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't want nobody to think that I'm bragging or boasting, but I should be bragging and boasting on, and we should, about the goodness of God. If there's a breakthrough, right? More people than my household should be getting delivered, healed, helped. You know what I mean? There should be other people that are connected. Does that make sense? Peter, the disciples at the time of prayer, there was a man that was begging alms, and Peter said, "Silver and gold I have not, but such as I have, I give unto you. Pick up your bed and walk." I don't have what you think I have, but what I know I have, and what has worked for me, and what has changed me, I'm going to give that to you. Pick up your bed. Deliverance has come to you. Healing has come to you. Midday family, it is important, Tina, that we take a pause and be like, "Hope, is anybody else eating but me? Has anybody else experienced joy but me? Is anybody exposed to or experiencing breakthrough but me?" Does that make sense? I told you yesterday, and the reason why I'm saying this, there are many of us that don't understand that God blesses us to be a blessing. He's commanded us to be a blessing. And a lot of times we don't want to bless other people. We don't like what they look like. We don't like how they dress. We don't think that ain't our business. I wanted to encourage you today, on this Wednesday, that guess what? Make sure that you are generous with your testimony, generous with what God has given you. You know what I mean? If the door was open for you, open the door for somebody. Open the window for somebody. Make a way for somebody. Somebody hipped you to a tip, and that tip, that little FYI, that little nugget changed the game in your life, and you like the way that felt, and you like the way that feels. Then guess what? Turn around and do that for somebody else. Turn around and look out for somebody else. Someone else bless you. You know, people put you on the little spots and little things like that. Go to this site, get you a good wig. It got good quality hair. You appreciate that little one up, right? But then when people ask you, you be like, I don't know, I can't remember. Don't do that. That's not nice. Don't do that. The same way you like to be blessed, I love it. I love it when people be like, they're so generous. I got this over here. It ain't that they messy, they sharing. I love that. And I love to share. I have no desire to keep anything. And I know years ago, Shanika, my mother used to be like, you give everything away. But I really learned that from her. And then God blessed me with a spiritual parents. They would give cars and houses and coats and da, 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 da. But I've always seen them in the overflow. I've always seen them in Rehoboth. I was blessed to see them never, without. And my mom, the very same way. She would give. And sometimes I used to be like, Mommy, they just using you. They don't really care. And she didn't care. My mother understood this, the law of, sowing and reaping. She understood that it's better. What's up, Danya D? Better to give than to receive. So there are times that, Danya, the conversation or the talk or the brunching today is anyone being blessed since you've been blessed? Is anyone growing from your testimony, from your gift, from your passion? Or are we having it, for ourselves? The Bible talks about, the word of God talks about that we should have fruit and the fruit shall remain, right? We should be fruitful and multiply. And we understand that in multiplication as far as enhancing our family, but we should be fruitful and multiply with discipleship. We should be fruitful and multiply with sharing and teaching people. Don't even worry about it. God gonna give that back. We good. There were times that I cook dinner and I cook with another family in mind. I could cook and I'm cooking for a whole nother family. I'm cooking for a woman that I know and her husband. They got a busy schedule. When I cook, before I put my food away, I make sure I wrap them up some food. I make sure I put myself in a blessing. And to be blessed, right? Or to share. I know what that looks like to have a busy schedule. I know what that looks like to have a mandate. And I know what it looks like when someone cooks for me. And I'm so thankful because Bishop and I are wiped out and we ain't got to do nothing but warm up and wash the dishes, right? What about uh you becoming the blessing? What about you sowing the seed and being the harvest that you want to see? Did you hear that? We should be advancing. We should be the disruptor. We should be the call, the noise maker for breakthrough. Does that make sense? God has blessed you, and it might not feel like a blessing, and it don't feel like you got a lot, but I'm telling you, you have more than someone else. Your story that might be a sad story is somebody's dream life. They're like, oh my God, I wish I could live like that. I wish I had that, right? On October 26th of this year, I'm going next month, in a couple of days, almost a month from today, I'll be hosting a domestic violence awareness service, right? It's purple, it's royal, it's regal, it's going to be powerful, it's going to be an awakening, it's going to be preventive. I'm going to make sure we're in a community to call women and men out. I'm believing, God, that the devil of anger, of poor communication, of violence, of generational curses would be broken, right? Because I went through that. I survived that. God brought me out. There are so many things that you've gone through, so many testimonies that's inside of you, volumes of wisdom, volumes of nuggets that can help somebody. And today on midday, I wanted to encourage you. I wanted to shake you up, to let you know that what you went through was not just for you. What you've gone through, what you've experienced, what you got under your belt is for someone else, that guess what, that they could be blessed. What you went through, the days of starving, the days of dehydration, the days when your money was hijacked, like a modern day Joseph. Guess what? It was not for you. Joseph said, you meant it for evil, but God meant it to save much souls alive. He was aware, he was awoke, he was clear about purpose and destiny. He knew that it was evil. He understood that there was betrayal, but he recognized that it was bigger than this. It was bigger than him. It was for purpose. And you might not understand it. You might not have never heard it from someone. You cannot believe it. That guess what? You've got to know that what has happened to you, what you're going through right now, it is not for you alone. It's for someone else. Someone else is sitting there like, am I the only one? Am I the only one? And it's going to be like, no, you're not the only one. I went through that. I was broke. I had poor credit. I was in a shelter. I was raped. I was sex trafficked. I was on drugs. I was the only child. I was this. You're going to realize that what you've gone through is not just single. It is not, it's massive. It's for a bigger audience. It's for people to understand that God will do it. I wanted to encourage you. Don't just sit on your testimony. It should not just be us four and no more. Four is fine. Okay, if that's who you call to, the four is fine. All right, but guess what? Someone should be coming alive. Someone should be resurrected because of your testimony. But I don't care if it's a business, because of your cookies, the way you fry chicken, the way that you cook, it should resurrect somebody. It should revive somebody. It could restore somebody. They will come to your restaurant. They will order your food because they know it is yummy, yummy, yummy to the tummy. They are going to be like that. That place is set up the way that you set an atmosphere up. Someone will be able to come and say, it's peace here. There's strength here. You lived in hell. You lived in a car. But now that you're out, you'll tell that story. It ain't always been like this. But guess what? I found peace in my car. I came from a shelter. Look what the Lord has done. Look how he brought me out. And now they'll be able to believe and dream. They'll be able to catch on. They'll be able to step up. They'll be able to step on the ground because of your story. And the enemy has been fighting you. The enemy's been punking you. The enemy's been lying to you to make you think, don't nobody want to hear nothing that you going through. He did it to me. He'll try it with me if we let him run his flapper. If we let him run his big fat mouth, he'll shut you up. He'll steal the dream. He'll silence you. He'll mutate you. He'll mute you. But that's why we're on midday. That's why the Lord had you on this Wednesday, so that you could know if you eating and God has blessed you, you can't be, you got to be like the other ones and be like, come on, there's more. God's got more for you. We will eat to the overflow. We will eat to full. We will eat till we, you got to be the one to be like, I remember when we were in a drought. I remember when it was lack. But look what God has done. Does that make sense? We went to go to Memphis. We went to Memphis last week. My husband and I, he had to minister, and different people came to support. Somebody need to say support. They came in to help. They were just nice, good friends that we haven't seen. Family came to Memphis. We had like a family reunion. It was a time, right? Well, while we went to Memphis and there was a set people there, some of my family members went to get their family to tell them. Do you know that there were people in my family that had never been inside of a church? I'm going to say it again, 2025. Yep. They had never stepped in their feet in a sanctuary. They were there. And guess what? When we went to Memphis, we just didn't go, for us. We didn't just go for fun. Yes, we did see the Lorraine Hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated. We did get to see some monumental places, B.B. King's restaurant, his studio, different things like that. But when we went to Memphis, there was someone that had never experienced God. There was someone that had never treaded into a sanctuary. They never experienced experience what we was experiencing. The reason why we went to Memphis is so that someone could get exposed, someone can get acquainted. What you went through is so that someone could get birthed out, so someone could get their breakthrough. And I want to let you know, don't you let no demon, no devil from hell, no lie try to stop you from going forward. Don't you even let yourself out talk you. Yeah, don't you let yourself second guess. That sleufer, that big storyteller, that liar will try to come up and tell you it's not worth it. It ain't gonna work. They not looking for nobody like you. You know, he tried to do it to Moses and tell Moses that he studied. He tried to do it to Jeremiah and let Jeremiah think that because of his age, we get caught up in all kinds of stuff. That's the